Well, a very good evening, good afternoon, good morning to you, depending on where you are joining us from. And hey, last week was a wonderful time. And you know what? This time, or this man was kind of dedicated to talking more on relationship. And last week, August took us to another level. And you know what? If you missed August's presentation, don't worry, just get back onto our page and view it. And this evening, afternoon, morning, I had a chat with a man on relationship. Today, I'm going to have a chat with an expert in relationship, a motivational speaker, and an event planner. So if you happen to find yourself in any of these three, you are at home. You are home. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the African Seasoned Speakers Network's platform with its flagship program, the Power Impact Series, where this evening is going to be you and me, Joy on dating. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome into our studio and on our platform, Madam Sandra Awo Delali. There she is.
What an introduction.
There she is. Oops. Well, just give me another smile and I can go on. Wow.
Oh dear.
Madam Sandra.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you for asking. I'm good.
Good.
I'm awesome.
Good. We thank God. We thank God. How have you been? How have you been after COVID lockdown and all that? How has life been?
Okay. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster through COVID, lockdowns, and all that. We've been UK's been in lockdown, I think, more than I can remember. But we're getting there. We've gone back into seeing people face to face, though it's not as it was before, but we're still getting there. Recently the COVID is actually surging again, so we've had to cancel a few events as well, in-person events. Gone back into virtual now, so we try and curb the infection as much as we can. But hey, life goes on. Jesus is still Lord.
Life goes on. That's the spirit. Life goes on.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, with COVID, how had relationships been? I mean, as a relationship expert, how has relationship been during the COVID and during this season that we've recovered from COVID? How has relationship life been?
It's been up and down for a lot of people, especially if you were dating before COVID, and if your relationship wasn't as solid as it has to be. Then with the impact of COVID, you and your partner being in the same environment for as long as I can remember, then it might have a bit of a strain on the relationship. However, if your relationship was solid, if you had that kind of a friendly relationship with your partner, then it's easy for you to go through it, because then you have each other's support. And I say that COVID has given us the ability to evolve, to think outside the box of dating in personal spaces, as taking it onto the virtual world. So it depends on how your relationship is. If your relationship or your dating partner was a long distance one, then maybe with lockdowns and restrictions and not being able to travel, then you have to succumb to virtual. And if you're not that kind of a virtual person, then you might need help trying to resolve all the
issues. You might need help. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, kindly get your questions ready for Madam Sandra,
Yes.
because it's going to be very, very good in here.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
going to
yeah,
be very
yeah.
good here. Get all your questions ready, and then
I
you
know.
can
Get
just
them
put them
ready.
up, yeah, so that when it's
Get
time
them
for the
ready.
Q&A, you will just put them out for Madam Sandra, so we will get it. I know a lot of people go through relationship or go through dating, and then sometimes you end to find yourself or ask yourself, did they have a plan before getting into the relationship or getting into that dating, or it was just some kind of pressure that was upon them to move in there?
Yeah,
Oh, they just wanted to while away time because hey, I'm not yet ready, but let me while
yeah,
away time, and then people jump
yeah,
into it. So,
yeah.
as a relationship expert and a motivational speaker for that matter, how are you going to address this issue of dating
Mm, okay,
purpose?
right. So when it comes to, like you just said, what was the purpose of you going into dating? There's some people that just date for dating's sake. There's some people that are being, like you said, being pressured to go into dating. Maybe
Uh,
everybody around you is with somebody and you are the proper single among them. And so you might
uh,
feel the need to be with somebody, or you might think you're lonely and so you want to be with somebody. These are some of the reasons why people go into relationships. However, if you want to date properly as dating with a purpose, then you should know why you are dating. So if you don't have anything in mind, then the reason why you are dating or just anyhow is probably because when you don't have a plan and you go into dating, just like you sitting in a car with no destination in mind, you're just driving around for fun. You might get to a point where you get tired and you want to drive back home, or you might even run out of fuel
yeah.
because you had no place in mind. You're just going. That is for people that don't have any game plan while they're dating. So they just go around every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You're just dating anyhow, anyhow, in, no purpose in mind. So you have no actual destination in mind. But if you have a purpose in mind, if you have a reason why you're dating, if you're not dating because you're being succumbed to pressure, or you're just saying I'm lonely, so you want to fill that gap, then you would always get to a good destination. Other than that, you're just going to go round and round in circles.
Is
Yeah,
there a
yeah,
way?
yeah, yeah.
Is there a way one person can identify if this relationship is purposeful? Is there a way one can see that?
Absolutely. If you are dating with a purpose, one, you just don't, like I said, you just don't go into anybody that you, oh, because I'm lonely, I want to date you. You're going to have specific reasons for dating that person. One
Right.
could be compatibility. Two could be
Okay.
that your values align. Three could be that your purposes align. Four could be that you're just, and there's some people that you just gel.
Okay.
Everything about you and about them is just like perfect match. In as much as I
Right.
don't see anybody as a perfect match, there is a thing that brings people together. And so if you know the person that, okay, this is, they call something that my soulmate. And
Yeah.
I ask people, what is a soulmate? So your soulmate is somebody that you gel with, somebody that
Okay.
you're how do I put it without sounding too like in the classroom. We're not in a classroom. We're having a discussion. So I mean that thing that makes you have fun, but at the
Okay.
same time you have a destination in mind and you're both heading towards that destination. It makes relationships beautiful. Other than that, you're in a yacht. Let's say you've gone to you want to go on a cruise. There's lovely yachts all over. You get the
Yeah.
one that you want, you sit in. You don't even know where the yacht is going. Maybe it's
Okay.
going to the Caribbean, maybe it's going to the Middle East, maybe it's coming to Africa. You have no idea. You just sat in it and it's taking you to Africa and you're thinking, oh, this is not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to the Caribbean. I'm sorry you didn't ask. You didn't tell me where you want to go, so I can take you
So
anywhere I want. Yes, but
yeah.
if you have a destination in mind, it means you have a purpose you're running with.
Okay. Okay. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, joining us all over the world, wherever you're joining us from, kindly share the page and let others also understand and get to know that you need to know where you're going to before you jump onto the bus on the road of dating. Because we're in here with that wonderful lady, with that wonderful soul. Hey, let me ask you, have you already found your soulmate? If you've not found your soulmate yet, make sure you are on the same path with that soulmate. Because
Absolutely.
if you're not on the same path, get ready to be dropped along the way. All right.
Absolutely.
So over to you, Madam Sandra, for
Yeah.
today's presentation.
All right. I thought it was going to be like a question and answer thing. I love it when you ask me questions and I'm answering for you.
I'm okay
So
with it. I'm okay
yeah,
with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
it doesn't really matter. I mean, so many times when we talk about dating with purpose, people would ask you, what do you mean by dating with purpose? Every date is a date. But like
Yeah.
I explained before, if you have no destination in mind, you just go round and round in circles. And then you start kissing all the toads before you meet maybe a frog. You might not even kiss a frog at all. You might end up with an orgy. So you need to have a purpose in mind. And having a purpose in mind is that this person I'm going to date, how do I, before you even date the person, you yourself as an individual, what do you want in a relationship? What do you want from the person that you want to go out with, the person that you want to maybe in future settle down with, have kids with, have a future with? What do you want? And for me personally, I had quite a long list of what I wanted in the man that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Because right from the word go, I was sort of like a go-getter. I was very independent and I didn't really want anybody that would choke me or will prevent me from going to where I want to go because I wanted to achieve what I wanted to achieve. And so my list was quite long, and my friends used to laugh at me that no man can tick all these boxes. And I keep telling them all good and perfect gifts come from God. I'm not expecting an angel, I'm expecting a human being who has flaws. We all have, I'm not perfect. Listen, I'm a very terrible person, but
That was exact question I was going to ask. How terrible are you?
oh, very. You need to know how to live with me to live with me.
Right.
So I have my own flaws as well. So if when I was going to date somebody, I need to know that this person is not perfect. He's got their flaws as well. But then we should be able to know how to accommodate each other's flaws. How to, as long as it's not abusive. Listen, if you're in an abusive relationship or if you're dating a narcissist, then I'm sorry, that one you need to pack off and go. But everybody has flaws. Everybody has issues that we all deal with. I mean, there's some people that when they finish eating, even if there's only one spoon, they'll still leave it in the sink, and that can be a trigger point for some people. So you should know their flaws and try and accommodate them. Tell them, listen, I'm that kind of a perfectionist that if when you finish eating, just rinse your spoon and put it away. So you need to accommodate. But the whole idea of dating with the purpose is that you know the end, your destination, where you're going. So assuming that you've met somebody, you're going out, maybe a couple of dates, you realize that they're not honest, they're not trustworthy. What did they say A today, tomorrow when you ask them, they say a different story. Then you should know that, listen, you guys, there's no way there's going to be issues along the line because they're not trustworthy. If you're an honest person, you don't want to date a dishonest person. If you're a loyal person, you don't want to date someone that is so disloyal. So you should know what you want in a relationship and know what you want in the individual that you want to date. And you should know yourself, what you can tolerate, what you can take, what you can accept, what is your breaking point, what is your trigger point, what are the boundaries that you set. So these are very important when it comes to dating. However, I've seen a lot of people not having these kind of things in place. And when you ask them, they tell you nobody is perfect. Every date is a date. I'm sorry, every date is not a date. Don't go kissing a toad when there's a frog that can turn into a prince. Don't. You mess your life up.
What if they are just testing the water? So they want to kiss the toad and see if it can work out well
And
for
turn
them.
into a prince. Okay. If the toad doesn't turn into a prince, and you don't turn, and you are not Cinderella, so you don't lose a slipper, in the end, what do you become? You start getting hit. You start thinking, if you're a woman, you say, oh, I'm being used. But you're not being used. You haven't set your standards as to what you want. If you're a man, you keep saying that, oh, the girls are dumping me. They just come, they want my money, and then they leave me. No. What do you bring to the table?
Okay.
Whatever you bring to the table, listen, you're not afraid to walk away when your presentation is on point, because you know who you are. You know what you carry. You know that I just don't want to date for dating's sake. I want to date with something in mind. But you also need to know that, like you're saying, testing the waters. When you're dating is not about going to have sex or going to accept money from the per guy you're dating. Dating is simply getting to know you. So there are people that multiple date. They can date as many guys or as many women at one time, because they're not exclusive with anybody, which society accepts it, because I'm not exclusive with you. So I can go out with a couple of guys, see who fits into the criteria, and then I settle. When I become exclusive, then I don't date any other person. But if I'm not exclusive, then I'm at liberty to date as many people as I want. As long as I'm not sleeping with you, as long as you're not giving me money, then hey, you don't owe me. We're not obligated to be together. If the relationship doesn't work out, kudos. Thank you. Bye. Or you say good riddance to bad rubbish.
But are the two people dating? The two people dating have this kind of understanding that, hey, we are not exclusively together. We kind of checking if it can work out.
It's very important. It's very important that when you start dating, you see, that's what I'm saying, that people are not very honest. People are not very open. People are not very genuine. Because when you're very genuine, you need to let the other person know, listen, at the moment, I'm not dating anybody. I'm just going out with you to get to know if it would work out. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. I have other people I'm dating. But I think that in our typical African settings, we don't usually do that. We don't say I'm dating multiple people. However, in the Western world, it's very common where people date multiple, because they think that I'm not exclusive with you. And the moment they become exclusive with one of them, they don't date any of the other girls or guys, because then now they're devoted to one person. Okay. But I think that in African setting, when you do that, they tend to tag you as you're a bad girl or you're a player, and that kind of a thing. But being a player is different from trying to find the one you want to settle down with. A player is somebody that is banging on all of them. He has 3 or 4. He's got 10,000 tongues. He's singing to everybody. That is a kind of a player. But somebody that knows where they're going would not succumb to that kind of a pressure of being called a player, because they want to know that they're not making a mistake. Personally, I think when I met my husband, we were just friends. And we were friends for a while. And then we realized that the relationship or the friendship was progressing. And then he said to me, listen, I want us to be exclusive. Would you mind? I'm like, no way. I think I like you, guy. Let's just give this thing a chance. And it worked perfectly. Okay. So you have to be open enough and let the person know this is what I want. In the event that the relationship doesn't even work out, at least you both knew that you gave it your best chance.
Okay.
It's important.
Know yourself, know what you want, and
absolutely. It's very important that you know what you want.
Right. So in the case where you really know what you want, but what you want is not coming,
you don't allow society or pressure to determine when to go into a relationship. You don't have to be pressured into saying that, okay, I want a frog, but all that are coming my way is a toad, so I settle down with a toad. The frog will never, and the toad will never become Prince Charming. However, the frog will become Prince Charming. So if you want Prince Charming, you wait. There is no pressure. Listen, if you enjoy being who you are, if you enjoy your own company, if you're content with yourself, then your single state is very, very beautiful because you're not being pressured. You're probably pursuing a career or education, or you're trying to build a business for yourself, whether you are a woman or you're a man. You've got something going for you, So you don't, in as much as you might want to be in a relationship, if it's not coming, you don't kill yourself. Neither do you settle for less than what you deserve. You see, when you begin to settle for less than what you deserve, that's what brings about all these problems. You know this guy is abusive, yet because you think I'm growing, you settle down with him. You know this lady is promiscuous, yet because you're thinking, you settle down with her. You know she's very disrespectful. You know she's lazy. You know she hasn't got your best interest at heart. You know that the purpose you have for your life, she hasn't got it. You're telling her, where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? And she's saying, probably a wife and a mother. Where is she going? You are seeing yourself as a top-notch CEO. You're seeing yourself as building empires. You're seeing yourself as going places. And this person you're even telling, oh, would you want to go back to school or maybe do something? And they're like, no, I'm content with who I am. And then you just settle. Along the line, frustration will set in. And even if you get married, you might tend to look outside. If you don't look outside, you will endure and you would never be happy. So you need pressure. Pressure should not dictate as to how and when you go into a relationship. That is a no-no. Pressure should never dictate. Absolutely not.
Pressure should not be part of the list to
No, never.
consider. Okay. If pressure shouldn't be the absolute thing to consider when going into a relationship or dating someone.
Sorry, come again.
I said, if pressure shouldn't be the main focus with which you used in going to a relationship or dating, then does it mean that every relationship or dating which is purposeful will end up in marriage?
Absolutely not. That's what I'm saying, that not all relationships are going to end up in marriage. However, you would know that you gave it your best shot. Okay. So if you're dating somebody and it's, even though it's purposeful, you would have that connection. You would have that peace, because you know what you want to do. In the long run, most relationships that are based on purpose, 99% of it end up in marriage.
Okay.
They do. But in the event that it doesn't, you know that you gave it your best shot. Okay. But usually it does. It does because you all have the same end result. You all have the same end goal. You all have the same end destination. This is what we want to do. There's some guys you meet and they tell you, listen, I don't want to play around. I want to settle. I want a woman who is this. I want a woman who is that. He's giving you what he wants. So if you're not ready to settle down with him, he would walk away. Even though you might present yourself as the best thing that happened to him since sliced bread, he will still walk away because that's not what he wants. And there are some women that would also come to you whilst you're dating them, and then you realize that this guy I'm going out with doesn't fit into where I want to go in life. I was telling somebody a few days ago that I didn't get married early because I knew where I was going and I wanted a man that would fit into where I was going. And at a point, my mom thought I wasn't going to get married. I wasn't really, And my late dad, when I was in my teens, kept telling people that if you don't treat me well, when my daughter is getting married, I won't give you some of her black label. I mean, so it was. So these are the kind of things that when you set a standard for yourself, and I know a lot of people say that you don't need to set standards for yourself when it comes to relationships. However, I always prove them wrong. That as a professional, when I'm talking to somebody that wants to go into a relationship, I ask you first, what do you want? So if you don't know what you want, then you'll be sera. What will be, will be. But if you know what you want, then you don't settle for less than what you deserve. Okay. Even if it's not presented to you. Listen, a diamond is not come as, I don't know if you can see my my little diamond ring, but a diamond doesn't come to you refined as that. It comes to you with all the rough edges, is rough, but what's inside, when it's refined, turns into that amazing diamond that sparkles that every girl wants to have a rock. Now, when we're in a relationship with somebody and you realize that there is a diamond with the rough edges, you clean the rough edges to get access into the diamond. You just don't check it out. So you need to know whether this person is going to fit into it. You know, I usually use my life as an example. I don't like talking about people. When I met my husband, he was a student.
Okay.
I was a full-time career girl. I was earning my money. I had my car. I was going places, but he was a student. You know, and I remember one of my aunties telling my mom that, you know, they said it's infanti that, oh, this guy is a student. How is, and my mom said to my auntie that, having spoken to him, she can see that he has a future. So let's wait and see how it pans off. And a couple of my friends were also like, well, you've rejected a whole lot of guys. Why would you want to date a student? And sometimes when I sit down, I'm like, why did I want to date a student? But he was the best fit for me.
Right.
He was the diamond with the rough edges.
Right.
And when the rough edges fell off, the actual diamond sparkled. And today I can say without shutting my eyes that I have one of the best relationships in the world.
Sure. Sure. So you took time to work on the rough edges.
Absolutely.
Because you saw a diamond.
I saw a diamond.
You saw a diamond.
People saw that's the dead.
Yep. But you saw a diamond.
I did. So you need to know who you're going out with, irrespective of what people are saying.
How do you see that? How do you see that diamond?
So dating somebody is getting to know them. Okay, by their fruits you shall know them. By the way somebody talks to you. If I talk to you for 10 minutes, I would get to know the kind of a person you are a little bit. If every day I talk to you for 10 minutes, you would definitely say something that would be a trigger point for me. You would say something that I would grasp. I would tell you things. I will tell you my visions. I will tell you my dreams. You will support them. You will be there for me. Listen, one of sorry, my nose is quite itchy today. I don't know why. One of the things that amazed me was that when I was dating my husband, I was ill for like a week at home, and he would go to school and then he would go to work. So he wasn't earning as much as I was earning at that time.
Okay.
But he bought me a get well soon card. And in that get well soon card, that was 19 years ago, he put £100 in that card for a student to give me £100 then. That was about, okay, let's say that's today you giving me like maybe £300 or £400 in a get well soon card. And I didn't open the card until he had gone. And so when I opened it, I was like, oh, wow. So I said to my mom, look, Albert bought me a card and he's got £100 in it. And then my mom said, he who has little and shares with you, when they have much, they give you more. Right. So it became like a part of that. All right. And so I saw the generous side of him. I saw the kind-hearted part of him. I saw the family-oriented side of him because he was able to get on with everybody in my family. Okay. And then I saw his future because of what he used to say. And he supported every dream that I had. There were even those that I thought were too huge. And I'm thinking, how is it going to be? But when he hears them, he's like, you know what? This thing is possible. It can be done. It can be done. And, you know, and so you need to know the person you're dating. If I'm dating you and we have an argument, it's inevitable. In every relationship, you would have an argument because we're two different people with two different opinions. If I'm having an argument with you and you get so upset and you hit me, I should know that in future, when I settle down with you, you would beat me black and blue. You wouldn't tell me, oh, I'm sorry, I got upset and I hit you. What happens in future when you get upset? You're going to do it again. Now, if I'm dating you and you keep lying to me, keep lying to me, keep lying to me, when we get married, you will do the same and even more. Whatever happens when you're dating and is unhealthy, the minute you get married, it expands, it explodes, become like an explosion, become like a bomb. So you need to know right from the word go. You would see that person with the rough urges. If you're dating a narcissist, you would know from the beginning. They will love bomb you. Then he'll begin to let you see everything is about me, 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 me. Everything is about them. Never about you. When you want to share your vision with them, they would go, oh, even this vision of yours is not. They want to portray themselves as the best thing that ever happened to you. So you would know.
Right.
So if you don't know who you are and what you want, that is when you don't live with a purpose. You just sit in any car. I'm going to, okay, I'm in Ghana. I'm going to Sterco. I've sat in a car that is going to Tema. How do I get to my destination? I'm just sitting in it, not going anywhere, because I have no destination, actual destination in mind. But if you know who you are, what you want, where you're going, when you see those little rough edges that don't become a diamond, they're just a rock and a stone or a gravel or just dirt. You say, good riddance to bad rubbish. I'm not settling for this because I know who I am and I know I deserve more than what you're bringing to the table. Sorry, but I'm not sitting. I'm out of here.
Well, viewers, it's getting to the next level. We are tackling. We are getting there. So you know what? If you are sick, kindly call the one you are dating purposefully.
Yes.
Let's see if he's going to bring you the car with £100 in it. Let's try it now. Let's try it now. Let's try it now. Well, so viewers, share the page. If you want to sponsor this program, as we always say, drop a message and let's have a way of reaching a wider number of people, because these are golden nuggets which are being shared and we don't want to be selfish by keeping it to ourselves. Share the page, share it up, and let's reach a larger number of people, because hey, there are a lot of people sitting in the wrong car and they are getting ready to get off because that is not the right car to the destination they're going to.
Absolutely.
Right, so Sandra, okay, so you were talking about abusive person, right?
Yeah.
So now let's take it from this side. This person is not abusive.
Yeah.
But this is what he or she is doing. Yeah. You speak with the person and the person tells you, this is where I want to see myself in the next 5-10 years. But this person is genuinely in love with you. I mean, you like everything about the person, but that one thing you are looking for, the person keeps changing it. It keeps, and the person is not really, you don't really see any effort being made by the person to get to where they have told you that this is where I want to be in the next 5-10 years. That is not abusive. But because of the kind of vision or the kind of dream the person has shared with you, do you still hang around with that person thinking that, yay, in the next
yes, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
I will fear no evil because I know it's going to happen. How do you handle such a situation?
Sorry, I'm laughing so hard this evening. You know what?
Yeah.
Like I said, when you know what you want, everybody has flaws. There's some flaws or imperfections you can handle and you can deal with. There are others that is a deal breaker for you. So deal breakers is a no. You don't accept them. Some people, however, would say, okay, I would try and bring you into my world and see if we can match up. But then for me, personally, I would say if it is a deal breaker for you, don't settle for it. Because at the end of the day, what becomes things that a quirk, let's say a quirk, I'm somebody that I do this a lot. When I'm thinking, my little finger is sometimes, and I'm thinking about something, I do that, or I chew my lip a bit. That's when I'm in deep thought. And sometimes I talk to myself, especially when I'm typing. I talk to myself. My kids laugh at me when I do that. So quirks, these are my little quirks. So quirks that you can accept whilst you're dating. If care is not taken when you get married, they become frustrations for you. It means they were your deal breakers. So like I use the spoon as an example. Yeah. If your partner leaves the dirty spoon in the sink and you're not irritated by it, you can just wash it and put it away. It's okay. For somebody, it's a deal breaker. You have to wash your spoon and put it away. So with such a person, you don't say, I'll try and accommodate what you're saying to see if I can fit into your life. It means that you're settling for less than what you deserve. Okay. If you can't, you can't. Don't you see, relationships are not difficult. It's the people in it that makes relationship difficult. Okay. If I'm getting to know you and I like you and we're flowing, we're compatible, we're able to talk about everything and nothing, we're able to have fun, then we should be able to, connect the dots here and there, work on our flaws so that our partner is not too much hurt. We're able to say, okay, listen, I don't like this thing you're doing. And, gradually couples or partners work on each other. Right. And so things that I would love but would be an offense to my partner, I wouldn't do because I don't want to hurt him. Things that he would personally love to do and I don't love, he wouldn't do because he thinks it's going to hurt me. These are the kind of things that we bring into a relationship. You don't think about you. The moment it becomes you, there's a problem. So if you're saying in the next 5-10 years, this is what you want to do. In the next 5 10 what I want to do, and you are telling me that my plans and my visions don't fit into yours, but you want me to accept yours, then I'm sorry. For me personally, it's a deal breaker. I'm not going to do it. I won't succumb to that. But I've seen other women that will say, oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, he's rich. Oh, he would change. Please, nobody would change. You see, that is one thing that I think a lot of people think that, oh, when we are dating and we all have flaws, when we get married, we change. They don't change. And you are nobody's saving grace. Don't say, I want to change him. You can't. That is the work of the Holy Spirit. You are nobody's saving grace. Don't say, I want to change him or I want to change her. It's impossible. You can't change anybody. Leave that to God to work on the person. But don't say, I get married to him and I change him. This guy you were dating is going out every weekend with friends, leaving you at home, and you're saying, when I get married to him, I'll change him. Girl, wake up and smell the coffee. It's not going to happen. He would leave you at home even when you're pregnant, and he would go out with his friends. He would do it without blinking an eye, so.
Maybe they're thinking when they marry and their responsibilities increase, that will cause him to change.
I'm sorry. It will become worse. When you get married, things that you were covering when you were dating, right? Or things that you were just sweeping under the carpet, you lift up the carpet, you're like, whoa, is that the dirt that was hiding there? Yes, because you kept sweeping it. You kept sweeping it there. Okay. You kept sweeping it there. You swept it and you left it under the carpet. So the day you pick it up, you realize, oh, I got cobwebs, I got cockroaches, I've got even mice can live in your home if you don't take care of them. So you right from the word go, have a purpose. Right. Date with the have a vision in mind. Have a purpose in mind. What do I want? Okay. Can I live with this person? This is where I want to see myself with. This is how I want my life to go. This is what I want to do. Is this person able to walk the journey with me? Yeah. If you won't, then you have no business being in my life. And don't let people force you into it. Don't begin to think that all my friends have relationships or they're getting married, so I need to find myself a man. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. Have a purpose, have a vision. Where are you going? Is that person going with you? Can you trust that person? Yeah. Is that person honest? Are they always talking to their ex-partners? Are they always talking about their ex-partners? Are they always saying they don't have money? Are they always saying they're out of job? Is he looking dirty? Does he even want to bath? You need to think about all these things. There are some even girls that don't even like bathing, and there's some guys that don't like bathing either. So if that is a deal breaker for you, why go and settle with such a person? Right. Me, if you don't bath, you won't sleep in my bed. So you need to have a bath. Right. If I'm bathing, why are you not bathing? We all need to, and so you need to know all that. Let's say you are somebody that loves going to the gym. You start dating a girl or a guy that is always saying, why are you going to the gym? I don't want you to go to the gym. And then it's becoming an issue. Why would you want to be with such a person? In the long run, it's going to cause issues. So if you want to go to the gym, date somebody that is going to be your cheerleader. Okay. Say, listen, I'm doing it for myself. I'm going to the gym for me, not because of you, but for myself. Let the person cheer you on. If the person say, go girl, you can do it. You know, I got your back. I'm here for you. If you need me, do you want me to drop you off? Do you want me to come with you? Do you know, that kind of a thing? Relationship is beautiful, my brother.
Right, relationship can be beautiful. But hey, you said something that was wow. I just noted it down. So relationships are not difficult. It is the people.
It's the people in it. Yeah.
That are difficult. Wow.
The people in it. It's rather unfortunate.
Viewers, that is a take home. Relationships are not difficult. It is the people that makes it difficult. And
Absolutely.
And then again, since just repeated what you just said, that you are nobody's saving grace. That is Jesus' work. Don't go into the relationship with that mind.
No, I'll change him. Oh, I think I can change him. You girl.
Maybe he feels that. The girl feels that. Hey, this guy. Yeah, I see a brighter future, and I think this thing I can work on it.
Yeah, like I said, when you see the person, like I said to you, the diamond doesn't come to you sparkly. The diamond comes to you with all the dirt. Okay. Yeah. Now, when the rough edges are something that you can clean, it makes it easy. But if you realize that there is no diamond in it, and you're just cleaning a rock, you are just cleaning a mere stone, there is no point, because then you're wasting your time. There's nothing hidden in that thing. But if there is a gem in there, there's some guys that can take a woman or a girl that doesn't fit into what society will think the guy should date. But give them a couple of years, you will see the girl and you would not recognize it. Why? Because the guy that was dating her saw a gem in her. Right. So he brought her home, polished it, and presented it to the world. This is my girl. And you know what? The good thing about you having that kind of a gem is that when you put it on the pedestal and you look at it, you're like, now me get this one. You become so proud that this person is mine. This person is my husband. This person is my wife. And it makes you proud. There are some people when you can't even introduce them. If I see you, I'm like, oh, Benjamin, meet Kweku, meet Benjamin. I can't even say this is my husband because I'm not proud of the person I'm married. But if I'm proud of, I would just show you to the world that you are mine. I'm excited. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the man you are. I'm proud of where you're going. I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm cheering you on. I know the vision we have. I know that we can talk, we can play, we can joke. You allow me to be myself. I have my space. You have your space. There is nothing holding us back. Then I'm like, yes, now I have arrived at the destination that I wanted to be. Not still looking back thinking, shall I go to Cape Coast or to Elmina? I don't know. I did literature in school, so I still remember that book. Yes, I'm not the dilemma of a ghost.
Yeah.
So you start thinking, you don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. Are you going or you're coming? It's just a mess. It's just a mess. But people need to sit down, sit back, relax, know where they're going, take their time, explore, get to know the person. And hey,
you did. On the note. Now on the note. Now that sound is an alarm sound.
Yes, it is.
That's an alarm sound.
It is.
When you hear the sound, it's an alarm sound. So
tell me about it. I know.
You want to dive into the alarm sound. Okay, so
It's rather
Right.
sad. It's
Yeah.
rather unfortunate that we allow dating to become, or relationships in general, to become like you're in a prison, you
Right.
know.
Right.
And then
Right.
for me, sometimes the stories that I hear, I tend to think, do they make them up? Or but then when I go into it, I realize no. Some of the stories you hear them and you're thinking it's like a Nigerian movie being acted, because it's a whole lot of a mess. And you
Right.
ask yourself, so when you were dating, didn't you see it? Oh, I saw it, but I thought they would change. Who told you that?
Yes. Yes. That's the thing. They saw it, so it's not as if they didn't see all these things coming. They
No,
saw them.
they
They
did,
saw.
but they ignore the red flags. Okay.
Oh,
So like I
okay.
use an example in the beginning, that
Okay.
you're dating, somebody slaps you and you're
Yeah.
thinking, oh, when we get married, he won't slap me
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
No. Once he slapped you once while you're dating, when you get married, he will beat you. He will not slap you, he will beat you.
But yeah, you see that you are capable. You're able to take slaps, so you are
Exactly.
capable of taking
So
blows.
so you are okay with it, you know. So let's say you're dating somebody, this person doesn't even want you to go out with your friends, doesn't want you to visit your family, doesn't want, he always wants you to be with me, 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 me. And you
Right.
think when you get married he'll allow you to go out. No.
Mm. Yeah.
What you That's the end of your social life. Because
Right.
maybe your friends were telling you you're dating this guy, he's taking you out of all your friendship zones, and you're like, oh, because he loves me, he wants to be, girls were so, I don't know, oh, he loves me, he wants to be with me, he loves my company and all that. Listen, I'm not saying when you're dating don't spend time together. It's good to spend time together, because that is when you get to know each other. But allow space for everyone to become their own individual. Even in
Okay.
a marriage setting, you had your own individualities before coming together. So go out on your own, have fun on your own. But when you come together as a couple, you do things as a couple. It's
Okay.
very important, because if you
Okay.
don't have your personal space, even in a marriage setting, it will suffocate you. We were just talking about COVID prior to coming on air, and this is what happened. A lot of people didn't know how to pivot their relationship because of COVID.
Okay.
But
Okay.
me, there are times when because we were all at home, me, my husband, and my kids were all at home. There are times I just go and sit outside. I will spend like the day outside in my garden. And my
Okay.
husband would tell my children, leave mommy alone.
Okay.
Even
Okay.
when I come inside and I come and sit with them for a few minutes, I go back outside again. So he realized that that was a pattern for me to just
Okay.
get my own personal space. So he wasn't encroaching on that.
Right.
When he's upstairs, I leave him to be upstairs alone, because I thought, okay, he needs his personal space as well. So I stay downstairs with my kids. I go and check up on him now and then, but then I leave him alone, just so that he can also regain his thoughts, regather whatever thing he's thinking about, how he's going to get his business off the ground again, how he's going to sort his stuff out, just so that everybody has their own mind to work with. But if you are dating and this person is 5 o'clock, he's at your office to pick you up, you spend the evening, 8:30 he takes you home, in the morning 7:30 he's at your house, he takes you back to your office, he picks you up. You have
Yeah.
no personal life. You tell him
Right.
you're going to a wedding and he's like, oh, the wedding is just for your friend, why would you want to go, why don't you want to spend time with me? You invite him, either he comes along or he says, I don't know the people, so I won't come. And so it becomes, oh gosh, you're just choking, and you think you are in love, and so you stay and you suffer. He proposes to you, you're jumping for joy. I do, I do, I do. Okay, now he gets married, he takes you home, and then
Mm.
even to go to the market, he goes with you. He has your list. You are suffocating. You
Right.
need time to breathe. Okay,
Right.
so know all these. Don't ignore the red flags when you're dating, and make sure you know your boundaries. Know what triggers you. Know what is a deal breaker for you, and don't
Yeah.
say because I'm growing, or because society expects me to, or because my family is pressuring me to marry this person X, Y, and Z because of the family name and all that. You're not marrying the family name. You're going to live with the person.
Right.
So you need to know. If not, you're going to be very miserable. And being miserable in a relationship is not the best.
Right.
At all. At all.
So it borders around understanding by the example, that explicit example you gave, you having your time, your partner understands you. So
Yep.
that means both parties have learned about each other. So
Yeah.
I know that my partner at this point in time needs that space. I allow them that space. I don't encroach on their space. That is basically understanding the journey both of you are on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You see, relationship very easy.
Well,
Very,
it
very
is so
simple.
easy. It's so easy when you find the right person and you are both on that same path together.
Yeah.
That makes it
That is why you need to date with a purpose in mind.
purpose in mind. Yeah.
That is why you need to have an end goal.
Right.
You need to know this is what hits home for me. I
Right.
was telling somebody a few weeks ago that my older daughter plays rugby, and
Okay.
they have something that is called the end goal, where
Okay.
when you're watching rugby match, sometimes my heart just bleeds because they're girls and they come in together with their heads and they bump, and you take the ball and you're running with it, and then when you hit the end goal, you go touchdown and you put the ball down and you've won, you've scored. Okay.
Right.
So the ball in your hand, is it
Yeah.
worth defending with your life like that? Is it
Oops.
worth you running and hitting the floor and saying, I've touched down? Is it worth going that end goal, end zone with it? If it is not, then drop it. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your life on that ball. But if it is worth you running that mile and hitting and saying, yes, I've hit home, then yes, you got it with all your life. You hit them, you bump, but you know where you're going. Okay. So if you don't have that in you, if you don't have that, you're dating somebody, but that your gut, something inside of you, your intuition is telling you it's time for you to call it quits. It's time for you to let it go. But you're still holding on to it. And then you get married and you're saying what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Did God put you two together, or you did it yourself? You're not compatible on any level, and then you blame God for something he hasn't done.
Right.
You blame the Holy Spirit for things he didn't do. God, why did you bring me this evil woman? Did God bring you the evil woman? No, you chose her. Something inside of you was saying this is not the best one for you, but
Yeah.
you still kept it. You still held on to it. You still thought I could protect it. Now you've hit your end zone and you realize, oh, after all, the slipper didn't fit Cinderella. She wasn't the one. What do you do? What do you do? Do you endure or do you walk away?
Yeah.
Then it becomes another statistics where they call you a divorcee.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Sandra Delali there for you. Yeah, the hashtag for today's program. I've already gotten the hashtag. It says what? If it's not, drop it.
If it's not, drop it. Don't gather with your life. You don't need it.
If it's not, drop it.
Absolutely. Drop it like it's hot.
That is the next miracle. That is the next miracle for relationship. And that is Sandra Delali. Don't get into something you can't defend your life with.
No.
Because
Absolutely.
it's not going to turn out to be any good.
No.
So why do that? So, especially with the ladies, you have that gift of identifying a right relationship from a wrong one. You do that.
Yes.
Let me gather all the brothers here. Let me gather all the brothers here. Brothers, let's listen. Something. Okay, Sandra, take over. Now that I've gathered all the brothers, Sandra, take over.
There's something in women called intuition.
Right.
Okay, it's a gift God has given to any woman, and it's called intuition. And your intuition is what makes you make the right decisions from the wrong ones. However, sometimes in the quest of finding a relationship, we suppress that intuition. We suppress that inner voice that is telling us this person is not right for you. It could be that maybe this guy has money, or his appearance is good, he smells good, he speaks good English, his vocabulary is on point, his grammar, the commas and the full stop, he dots all his I's and crosses all his T's. So you think this is okay, but then inside of you, that something is still that little nudge. That little nudge is telling you, nah. But yet, like I said, in the quest of finding a relationship, you suppress that inner little voice, you ignore all the red flags, and then you go settle for less than what you deserve. Then in the end, it becomes a problem for you. It's not all about, people say, oh, the inner beauty. I'm sorry, appearance does matter. Okay. How you present yourself matters a lot, because I get to see you before I get to know you. And so it depends on everybody though, but as a gentleman, if you want a lady to look at you and say, damn, this guy is hot, you need to look good. Sure. Don't get me wrong. You don't need to spend £1,000 on you to look good. You can still wear things from the charity shop and you still look good. Depends on how you carry yourself. So it's important that you look good on your appearance. Right. Every woman wants a man that looks good, whether you believe it or not. 99% of women love guys that look good. Right. And your attitude, women will watch out for attitude a lot. Okay, so the way you talk to me, the way you treat me, the way you make me feel when I'm around you, these are the things that will attract me to you. Okay, so I get to see your outer appearance before I get to know you. The knowing you is what they call the inner beauty. But I don't see the inner beauty when I see you. I see your face, I see your nice teeth, I see your, clean shave. That's what I see. Talking to you, getting closer to you, then I get to know what's inside of you. Now, that is when the little small voice begins to tell you this guy is either a liar, a cheat, he's not faithful, he's not honest, he won't treat you well, he's a narcissist, he's love bombing you, and you don't need to suppress it. So then you go for what you think you can guard your life with. Before we got married, my marriage counselor asked my husband, can you die for Sandra? And my husband said yes. He said, Sandra, go. He's a Nigerian. He said, Sandra, go. You found yourself a good man. Go. He said, if he had said no, or if he had hesitated for just a minute, I would have said, this guy is not good for you. Right. Because a man is a protector, a man is a provider, a man is a defender, a man is a leader, a man watches over his home. So if he can't take that authority and say, I'm going to defend you in the midst of all the odds, then that person is not for you. And these are the kind of things that women, we should watch out for. Listen, the dating world is now, I call it the muddy waters of dating. It is very muddy now because they're bringing in so many things that since time began, we didn't think these things would even come. And those of you on my platform, you realize that I keep putting little nuggets here and there so that you get to know what is happening in the dating world. It's getting very muddy. That will be for another day. That will be for another day.
Well, viewers, I told you, and here we are. But we not yet finished this session, but a new nugget has just dropped in.
The muddy waters of dating. It is very muddy.
It is muddy. I think that will be our next topic, whether we like it. That is definitely going to be our next session with Sandra.
Absolutely.
Because sitting behind and looking at what is happening with relationship. Yeah, as an expert, she's seen it all. And as a new beginner, for my intermediate brethren, and for my advanced people, You can bear witness with what Sandra is telling
Oh
us.
dear.
Is telling us. Yeah, so for those of us who have been into relationships and out, hey, from all that she said, I'm sure you've taken something out of it. Don't suffocate in a relationship that you know is not taking you anywhere. But the
Stop on it.
ones you know they are taking you somewhere, work on the rough edges. The
Yes,
diamond you saw that attracted you to that person, work on those edges.
absolutely.
Work on those edges because hey, at the end of the day, it's going to be between you and the person. The pressures are going to come. The friends are going to leave. Family are going to leave you together. You're going
Mm-hmm.
to cleave together as one. And
Absolutely.
that is going to be between you and your partner.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin wouldn't be there, Sandra wouldn't be there. It will be you and the person face to face.
Absolutely.
If you can't contain the person now, how sure are you can contain them when you get married?
Awesome.
This has been something else. This has been something else. No, I've been sobered by, by, by the things you've shared with us because these are things people are going through and they needed
Absolutely.
a seasoned word like this to bring peace to them. And I'm sure the viewers have taken all that needs to be taken. Yeah. And the catch word here is that if it's not, drop it. If it's not, drop it. Don't hold on to it for a longer time. Hey, you might be holding on, and the right people will be passing by and be watching you.
Tell me about it.
see,
Definitely.
see, Sandra shared her own experience, and I love it when you share your own experience because this is you.
Yeah.
When she started, the husband was in school. She
Mm-hmm.
was earning well, but she saw something deeper than the schooling. So the question is, what are you seeing in the person you are dating? Is this something you die for, or is this something it will kill you? It's up to
Mm.
you. So Sandra, what is next that you're doing? Are you have any projects you're working on, or you doing any, or is
Yeah.
there a event
Well,
that you organize that we should come?
absolutely. Yes. There's quite a few events coming up. Getting to the end of the year is always very busy for those of us into events because that is where our cocoa season is, where we get to organize events for
Yeah,
corporate events and personal private events as well. We
right.
just finished the Real Mom Summit, which was
Okay.
amazing. It was called the Empowered Mom, so it was
Wow.
super amazing. We've got a few coming up. I think next month, which starts even tomorrow, we have the Beyond the Vows coming up, where we
Okay.
talk about beyond the vows. You've said I
Okay.
do.
I do.
Last year we did before you say I do, and so this year we're saying beyond the vows.
Wow.
How do you pivot your relationship beyond the vows? Post COVID, how are you
Okay.
handling your relationship? How is your marriage going? How is your dating or in a long-term committed relationship? How is it going? So we've got a few um, things coming up here and there, and we will keep you all informed so you come in and just listen to the nuggets that will be dropped.
Wow. Wow. So before I say I do, or before you say I do, and then now beyond the vase, now you've said that I do. Now you are in the doing. So now
So
we
what are
want to
you
see
doing?
what are you doing? We want to vet what you are doing.
Absolutely.
Right. So, what are your last words you want to share with us on dating
Okay.
purposefully?
Ah, it's been lovely. It's been lovely being on this program. Thank you all so much for having me and letting me come on your screens with my I love smiling, I love laughing. So I tend to do that a lot. And thank you for me showing you all my teeth and all that. But hey, it's been amazing. Listen, I always say relationships are not difficult. It's the people in it that makes relationship difficult. If you
Right.
realize that this person you're dating is not going to take you anywhere, Don't waste your time. Don't give yourself heartache. Don't give yourself sleepless nights over somebody that is not even thinking about you.
Right.
Okay. Your happiness is very important. Know who you are as a single person. Develop yourself. Know your purpose. Know your worth. Know your end zone. Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve before you even get into a relationship? And if the person you're dating is not on the same wavelength as you, don't choke. Don't suffocate. Drop them and go find your way. Because if they're not going the same way with you, what's the point? Don't let anybody pressure you into going into a relationship that is not going to help you. Don't let no pastor tell you this is the person you're supposed to marry.
Right.
It is not the pastor's duty to matchmake you.
Right.
If the pastor brings you guys together and you still realize he is not the one I want to marry, say, Pastor, this one I can't do. Tell them, because it's not the pastor who is going to be enduring the boxing when it starts.
Right.
He will tell you, go and pray about it. It will be you that will be enduring. So don't let no pastor tell you this is the one. Know for yourself. Listen to your intuition if you're a woman. Whether you're a man or a woman listening to me, listen, watch out for the red flags. There are a lot of women with baggages. There are a lot of guys who are toxic. Don't bring them into your healthy environment. Any toxic person, disperse them off. Get to know their traits. Get to know what is your breaking point. Get to know, set your boundaries and work within them. Boundaries are not for them. Boundaries are for you. So you always need to know what you can contain, the flaws you can work with, the imperfections you can work with. If you can't, no business in there. And make sure you can guard that ball with your life and take it to the end zone. It's beautiful.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Right, so
listen,
Sandra,
prayer is very important as well. Prayer is important. Pray about the person who says, I think I want to date you. Pray about it. And once you're praying about it, God might not speak to you audibly and say, this is the one, go with him. No, but there will be signs, there will be things that you would get. You'll be very comfortable when you're around that person. You have peace within you. If that peace is not there, I'm sorry, but God is not saying anything. I say that the perfect matchmaker is God. All good and perfect gifts come from God. He gives you the perfect gift, but it depends on you how you work it. If you don't work it well, over to you. If God can take kingdoms from kings, what tells you he can't take a relationship from you if you don't treat it well? He can't take it from you.
Right. Sandra just touched us down.
Yes, we've touched down.
She just did that. Wow. Well, was I in this session? I was definitely in this session, and I'm privileged.
Thank you for having me
in this session. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. So, viewers, thank you once again for joining us for this evening's, morning, afternoon, depending on where you're watching from, session on the Power Impacts series, where today we had a wonderful person in our midst, in the person of Sandra Awo Delali, who handled perfectly dating with purpose with us. So, hey, you know what to do. You know what to do, and you know what to do. See you again on our next episode. And as you know, name is Ambassador Benjamin Osuansa. We'll meet here again and get ready for the next section, which is also going to touch us down. Thank you, and God bless us all.